Hi everyone, this is Glennis and this is my first video on how I resin my paintings. I resin all my paintings now, actually all my work, whether it's canvas or wood or whatever I paint on. Simply the truth is, it's what sells. So it keeps me the ability to keep painting by selling my artwork. So today I am going to go through my prep work, what I do, and show you the tools that I use to resin. So first off, I prepped my canvases. I have my big canvas on nails, and if you're interested in how I prep the back for my canvas so it doesn't sag, please watch my other videos on how I created this beautiful picture here. My other smaller canvases, I use cups. I know, waste, but I try to use these as many times as I can. I'll just peel the paint or the resin off of them and use them again. So they get used at least twice, maybe 3 times, depending on how long they last and don't break up on me. I tape all my canvases after I paint, only because I find that at the end where you're trying to peel this off, if I paint it over the tape, it will try to tear off some of the edge. So I paint or tape after I paint and before I resin, always before I resin. I hate grinding nibbles off. And I also picked this one up because I hate this tape. It's that turtle tape, I think. It's not very good. I use, the best thing I've found to use is the 3M original painter's tape. And I always get the wide roll because helps that I don't have to put 2 dots of this if I have a larger painting that I'm going to pick up and resin the edge underneath. So that's what I prefer. I find it works really well. Once I have everything taped and ready to go, I level. This should be your best friend whenever you're painting or resining. It is a level, and everything must be level. I've already leveled everything here last night, so I am good to go in that department. One other thing is, for those people who use silicone to get cells, I was practicing on how to make cells, and so this has silicone in it. I don't clean silicone off with anything but 91% alcohol. Other people use all kind of formulas. I just use 91% alcohol. And what I'll do is dab a rag and just lightly wipe it off. And don't forget to get your sides. Now, I will do that one more time just before our resin, and then I'll give it some time to dry a little bit. And if I get those little eyes, you will see when I resin what I do to help those go away at that time when I'm resining. Okay, so now that I have all my boards set, I will show you my supplies that I have. Of course, I talked about the tape. I talked about the 91% alcohol. That is your best friend when you're resining, because you should always have a rag with some of this on it while you're doing the process. Reason being is it's an acetone, and it will take off the resin fairly quickly, off your tools, off your hands, off your face, wherever you happen to get resin on. I always keep it handy, and then when I dribble down the side of my bottle, when I'm pouring my resin, I wipe it off. Always have this handy. And of course, cups, paper cups to put my canvases on, and gloves, rubber gloves. Now, I am slightly allergic to resin. Reason, I wear long sleeves in my studio when I'm resining, and I always wear 2 pairs of gloves because it just makes me itch. The Counterculture is better than others I've used, but it still makes me itch. So I protect myself pretty well. And measuring bowls. You should always have 2. Most resins make you mix in one for 4 minutes or whatever minutes, and then tilt into another bucket for another few minutes or 2 minutes. The reason being is you get what was the bottom of the bucket to now be in the top, and you're stirring. So you always need to have 2 containers available. And I always buy the ones with the ounces on them, because when you pour, of course, you're going to pour by ounces. It's most resins are by volume, not weight. So, and my stir stick. I get these for free from Ace because I go in there a lot, and it always says take 1 for free. I usually grab 3. But don't count on that being the same at Home Depot and Lowe's. I don't believe they give them out for free, but I get them from my local hardware. So buckets, and of course you got to have your resin. I have 2 gallons. I have part A and part B, and this is from Counterculture DIY. I love their resin. It's crystal clear. The bubbles come out fairly easy. If I'm working in the proper temperature, which is very hard for me where I live, because I usually in the range for 55 to 65 degrees all year round. So I have to heat up my studio to get the resin to get up to 70 degrees. It has caused me a couple of problems when I've overheated it. So my Counterculture. And then I have my torch. I prefer torch. Some people have heat guns, but I prefer a torch, and it's a butane torch. It's the kind you fill up over and over again. And the last thing I have is my respirator. I always wear a respirator. I don't think you should do resin without one. I've seen bubbles come up when I've mixed, and plus it's the smell gets me too. So wear your respirator. Last but not least, you need to find some way to protect your painting once you've resined it. Some kind of cover to keep the dust out of it. Otherwise, you'll just end up doing another resin job to correct it. So, and that's it. If you have any questions or comments, please go back to Facebook and leave them there, because if you leave them here, I won't get them. So have a good night, and we'll see you for the next video.